TFL EV is brought to you by Flow Charger, maker of reliable, high-quality charging stations for your electric vehicle. Hey, Andre, I've got the sneaking suspicion that the new Tesla Cybertruck may be a flop.
I agree with you, Roman, for once, actually.
Okay, that's good. And in this video, guys, we're going to give you the top 5 reasons that we think that the new Cybertruck is not going to do so well. So let's talk about number 5, and that is timing. I think it's going to be just too late to the game.
Yes, so you were at the original debut of the concept of this vehicle, which shocked the world.
Yes, there was a lot of buzz. I think they got tens of thousands of reservations, and they originally said that they were going to build it in 2022. It was going to come out in 2021.
As a 22 model, right?
And here we are in 2022, and
no sign of Cybertruck yet.
yes.
And I think, the timing, Tesla was riding a high, right? They had the Model 3, the Model Y, were doing really well. They announced this truck. They got, 100,000 reservations in like the first few hours or minutes. And the timing, the wave was building, right? And they promised a lot, and then the timing has passed.
Yeah, you know what, there's that old joke. You know what the key to a good punchline is?
What's that?
You're supposed to say what? Timing.
What?
I think they missed the boat, Andre. I think they really missed the boat. I think, since that time, the anticipation has dissipated like air out of a balloon, and, competition has come along. But we'll get to that in a second. So let's go to number 4.
Yes.
Which is design. What do you think of the design?
Well, it was shocking. The first time I saw it, I did not expect to see a wedge. And then they talked about the crazy way they're going to build it, with the stainless steel design.
Bulletproof, Andre.
Supposed to be bulletproof. Yes. But, first of all, it's not a traditional pickup truck design. And second of all, it's just polarizing.
Yeah. I mean, you either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
And the other problem with timing is when that came out, right? We combine design and timing now. That was cool, right? They said it was bulletproof. They took a big ball and smashed it into the window, broke the window, but nevertheless, it was an accident.
Okay, yes.
But back then it was really cool to have this like Mad Max future, right, where you're at the front of a truck playing guitar, fire shooting, you live in this dystopian world where having a bulletproof vehicle is empowering and cool. And then, Ukraine happened, and we saw that world is not so cool.
No, it became very real very fast.
Yes.
You could see, destruction, and that's not a fun future for anybody. Or present, actually.
Yeah,
it's present.
The zeitgeist changed, right? People, I think, figured out that, bulletproof means that you're living in a society that, is not great for raising a family or, the things that most people value.
Absolutely. And it's just, I think maybe the theme of this truck was kind of the 80s coming back in a way. The name Cybertruck. Wasn't there a DeLorean also at that initial unveiling? Stainless steel DeLorean. So it was kind of moving into this direction of every man and woman for themselves.
It looks, if you're talking about the design language, the problem with it is that traditionally companies have shared a design language so that it says this is a Tesla or it says this is a Mercedes. This has nothing to do with the current design language of Tesla. In fact, to me, it feels kind of ham-fisted. It just feels, Franz, sorry, but amateurish, right? The angles don't work. The proportions are wrong. It just feels like, a truck that a first-year design student would draw in high school, not at the design school, in high school.
There were many jokes about this
design.
People were saying, my child could draw this.
Yes.
But I think it was also Elon's vision. I mean, yes, he had designers working on this, but it's a vision. It's one vision.
Yeah, it certainly is one vision. It's a vision.
wedge.
You know what's a vision of? It's a vision make money quickly with crypto, and then you can drive this to your bank. Yes. And very good design is always following functionality, right? And that's number 3 on our list, functionality, right? I mean, there's a reason that a truck is like 2 boxes, right? Or maybe 3 boxes, because you can put a lot of stuff in a box. How much stuff, you're cutting your lawn and you need to go grab a can of gasoline from the back of that truck. How are you going to do it?
Well, no, you cannot. You cannot reach over the
You
back.
can't. No, you can't.
So, and I don't know what's in the front of this concept Cybertruck. There doesn't appear to be a frunk. Not much usability in the front. In the rear, yeah, they showed like a tonneau cover.
Yep.
But it's still a wedge. I mean, the beautiful thing about the truck, like you said, it's ease of use.
Yeah.
And this is not easy to use.
And then, there was this picture that came out that somebody drew a camper for it, right? Like a topper.
Yeah, like a slider and then a trailer on top of it, right?
Right, but that doesn't exist. It was somebody, once again, like, hey, you know what? I'm going to design a camper for this.
Yeah.
If you want a camper today and you buy that truck, none of them are going to fit. And I'm not even talking about like fifth wheels, right, where it has to fit proportionally.
Right.
None of that is going to work with this. And so you're going to have to create your own ecosystem based around that truck. And that is hard and that is time consuming. And I suspect that's expensive.
Yes, and they mentioned some numbers, right? Initially, Elon Musk stood there and he said, 3,500 pounds of payload, up to 14,000 pounds of towing, yada, yada, yada. But first of all, where do you put that weight?
Yeah.
The bed is pretty small. And those specs have been removed from their website. So now they're probably redrawing this truck and making it something a little bit different.
All right, that brings us to number 2, Andre, and that is, the Rivian or competition, right? So when obviously this came out, Rivian had also been unveiled, but Rivian, they just put out their numbers. They actually produced, I think it was over 3,000 trucks last quarter.
They delivered about 3,000
And they produced like
about 5,000. Yeah,
and
which is not a lot.
Which is not a lot, but those I think are also potential Tesla customers. We just got an email from somebody who said, they can't wait to get the Rivian because they can't wait to get out of their Tesla Model S for off-roading. And the fact is that all that hype and excitement led to a bunch of $100 refundable deposits, but Rivian and Hummer and now the big 800-pound gorilla in the room, Ford, are all building and delivering trucks.
Mm-hmm. And Tesla's not.
And Tesla's not, yeah.
And
they're late. They're late.
They're late to the game. They were about to do have the first mover advantage, right?
Yes.
They were, and they're not. And Ford is actually hitting that traditional truck or pickup truck customer, right? The truck looks traditional. It has a nice traditional bed. All the current campers, etc., will fit on it.
It's basically, if you see it from the side, it's basically an F-150.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same shape. It's a crew cab with a 5.5-foot bed.
And then Hummer is going after the off-roader, or if you're being unkind, that the guy wants or gal wants a toy, right?
An expensive, nice toy. Yeah.
Expensive, nice toy. So they're going after that. Crazy performance, 0 to 60 in around 3 seconds. A huge battery. Rear wheel steering, which this now is going to copy apparently.
Yes.
And very great, potential off-road capability. And then Rivian is going after the lifestyle buyer, right? They're the ones who are going to be taking it, surfing or camping. Yeah. Exactly. So where does that leave the Tesla buyer? That leaves the Tesla buyer buying either a Ford, a Hummer, or a Rivian, or they can, wait for another year, maybe longer, to get the Tesla Cybertruck.
Which we still don't know much about.
Yeah.
As far as what capability will be, what speed, how acceleration, or if it can actually do work.
And then finally, of course, when this came out, we were living without hyperinflation.
Yes.
And Tesla announced that they were going to start pricing it at about $39,000. And we're not going to go into the specs of the truck. I mean, you can look that up. We've gone through that a lot. But that pricing has mysteriously disappeared.
It's off their website.
It's off their website. So I don't know right now what the pricing of the Cybertruck is going to be, but I do know that you can buy potentially a Ford F-150 Lightning for $39 if you get the Pro, the kind of the entry-level model.
Yeah, the $39,900. That
Right.
seems to be the magic number. And even Ford, with all their might of their volume and scale, somehow managed to hit this price and continue to keep that price. But Rivian is raising prices, right? They have raised prices on recent orders, not original orders.
Well, they raised them on original, and then they got a lot of flack, and then they had but they're basically $12,000 to $15,000 more than when they came out, and I suspect that's a good number if you want to look at this. So realistically, this is going to be a $39,000 truck starting. It's going to be more like a $55,000 truck.
And if you want it to be still bulletproof,
yes, then it's going to be $105,000
or something. Yes.
So you've got a whole bunch of issues. And then, of course, we always like to do a bonus, right? And I think the bonus has to be the economy and inflation, right? When this came out, the economy was on an upswing. Everybody was flying high. There were all these crypto millionaires, and now we look like we're, they say that by the time you figure out you're in a recession, you've been in it for 6 months. And I got this bad feeling that that's where we're at right now, where, we're just kind of getting to the point of the hangover. We haven't realized it yet. We're still that night, we're about to go to bed,
Right.
but that hangover is coming.
Yeah, the only maybe, I don't know, positive light on this is that fuel is really expensive. I mean, gasoline and diesel.
Yeah.
So that might drive more people towards electricity. But still, like you said, hyperinflation, people losing their jobs, recession. That doesn't play well for a new vehicle like this.
No, it doesn't play well. And then the other problem is, their market is actually pretty small. Right now, we're at only 4% electric adoption, and that's going to change, right? But we just put up a video of the F-150 Lightning towing, right? And if you read those comments, there were at least, I'd say, 70% of the guys and gals on that saying they have no interest in an electric truck. So they've got that headwind as well. So competition, and now a lot of people saying, especially for towing, because you know what it does to range, they're not interested. So that is why I think, and I think you agree, Andre.
I agree.
That the Cybertruck may be Tesla's first flop. And the irony is they may be a flop because of their success, right? Because the Model Y was so successful that they ended up having to shift production from California to the new factory in Texas, which was supposed to be the factory that was going to build the Cybertruck. But instead, they focused on the Model Y, which is, I suspect, a smart decision. But, at the end, it cost them at least a year, if not more, in terms of timing with the Cybertruck.
And now this factory is coming online now. They're promising the Cybertruck next year, 2023, but we still don't have a really nice, predictable timeline.
So guys, we'd really love to get your opinion. We read all of our comments. Let us know in the comments below if you think we're onto something here, or if you think that we've missed a boat. And if you think we've missed a boat, I'd love to listen
and tell us why.
Tell us why, yeah. And as always, if you want all of our coverage, and if you're interested in our Lightning coverage, go to alltfl.com, where we have everything in one place, because we put out maybe too much content. Is that possible?
Well, we try to satisfy all enthusiasts and consumers.
Yes, we try to give you choice.
Yes.
See you guys next time. Ciao.